can I be so thirsty standing knee deep in the river? Why can't I see the forest full of trees? They say to count my blessings so I know what I got good, but I ain't seen good no how, so it seems. Well, right out of me.
Okay, so Lori, she's great with me, but like she chases the kids and bites them nonstop. And so I don't know why. So like I'll let her outside to play and like run around and try to get all of her energy out.
Yeah.
But then she comes inside and she goes right back after the kids. So I'm hoping it's just like,
Yeah, I'm sure
I'm
it's
hoping
just a
it's
phase.
a puppy thing, but let's see.
Will they, like, if she comes in and they like throw a ball or anything, will she be distracted by that, or is it?
Yeah. But like if they just walk around the house doing something, she immediately like she drops whatever she's doing and chases after them, which it's entertaining for me, but they hate it. So.
Yeah, they don't care for it too much.
Right.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know what I guess. Surely it's just a puppy face.
Yeah, I mean it reminds me a lot of a dachshund that we had. He was the same way, so I'm hoping she'll grow out of it.
Yeah.
We'll see. So, how are you?
Well, you know, a little stir crazy.
Yeah. Are y'all quarantining?
Yeah, we're shelter in place.
Shelter in place, yeah.
We're not leaving the house. I mean, unless we have to go to the grocery store for something quick, we don't.
Right.
We're stuck here, yeah. What about y'all?
Do both of your jobs allow you to work from the house?
Well, I work at an elementary school, so it's a whole new ball game for us. We are all learning how to teach via technology. You know,
Right.
I'm a reading tutor, so we haven't really hammered down exactly how I'm going to do that yet, but we're working on it. You know, luckily technology affords us a lot of avenues.
Right.
But and Chelsea, yeah, she can work from home for the most part. She's had to go out a couple times, but nothing too much.
That's good. How are the kids taking it?
Oh, you know, as well as they 3 kids that can't leave the house can, you know.
Right.
They best friends 1 minute and enemies the next. So
Right.
a lot of screaming,
Yeah,
and fighting.
we very rarely leave anyway because I have a 7-year-old and then I'm fostering a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm alone 90% of the time with them, so I don't leave a whole lot anyway because that's too many kids to do anything with by myself.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so we typically don't leave a lot anyway, but now that we can't leave, my 7-year-old's going crazy. Like, like now she wants to go places. I'm like, you never want to go anywhere.
Right. Now, just the fact that they know they can't, they're like, what? But no, what?
Right. So I saw that you're doing some stories on Facebook for kids.
I was doing that.
Yeah.
And then it turns out I wasn't legally allowed to do that.
Really?
Yeah. You got to have permission from the author to do that.
To read the book?
Yeah. And one of them, author Mo Willems, he allowed it. But the one that I wanted to do, the Beverly Cleary, the Henry Huggins series, we can't do on public settings. Like I can read them to my kids via Zoom or record it. And if the only kids that go to my school can see it, then that's legal. But I can't record them and post them on Facebook anymore. So that stinks. But
that's wild.
Yeah. So it's a shame because I got really good feedback. Kids seem to really like it. But if I wasn't an elementary school employee, I could probably get away with it. But they got to cover themselves, and that's understandable. So
I get that. Yeah, I saw LeVar Burton reading Rainbow.
Right. Yeah, I saw Neil Gaiman gave him.
Yeah, he was talking about it, and I didn't really get it. I didn't really realize that was a thing. But now that you're saying it too, I guess that is a thing. I mean, it makes sense, but
Right.
I wouldn't have ever thought
You
that
would
would
think that it wouldn't be a big deal, as long as I'm not making money off of it. But
right.
But that's cool. Yeah, Neil Gaiman gave LeVar Burton wide open access to do whatever book he wants. So that's really cool. I think I've read every Neil Gaiman book or most of them. So that's really cool.
Yeah, definitely. So, how'd you get your start in music? We can get off the COVID topic, but I knew that kind of needed to be addressed. I mean, it's kind of a weird time. We can't just ignore it.
Right.
So,
my cousins had a bluegrass band when I was growing up, so I was around like acoustic music my whole life, and playing music at Christmas and Thanksgiving and stuff. And then when I got older, I got a guitar and started trying to play along with them. And then when I went to college, I guess before I went to college, my brother introduced me to like Rowan Earl Keen and Reckless Kelly and bands like that. And so when I went to A&M, I started playing and singing myself and fell in with a good group of singer-songwriters there. And here we are, 20 years later.
Right. So you write with a lot of really cool people, though.
Some of those, like Mike Ethan Messick, he's a great songwriter. He's one of the group that I met living in College Station. Jamie Lynn Wilson, she's part of that College Station group. And then they kind of introduced me to Courtney Patton and Jason Eady, and Courtney introduced me to Cody Jinks and Matt Hillier, and so it just kind of snowballs based on who you start out with, I guess.
Right. Courtney was saying that you're one of her favorite people to write with.
Yeah, she is definitely one of mine as well.
Yeah.
We're a lot alike. So when one of us has an idea, you don't have to really worry about where the other one's going to take it, because we know what the other one's saying, or where they want to take a song most of the time. Usually all of our songs have been written within like 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, one of us will send the other one a song, and then the other one will send it back finished pretty much. So
yeah, she was saying, so I interviewed her on this, and she was saying that y'all write via text.
Yep.
A lot.
Via text message, email, the voice recorder app, I haven't been in the same room with someone when I wrote a song. I couldn't tell you how long it's been.
See, that's so crazy. Yeah, like I would never think that people are co-writing like just via text all the time.
Well, I've got a day job, and then I've got the 3 kids and the wife, and then Courtney's always on the road. I mean, we're just our ships don't pass too often. Usually it's at a show. So we just don't have time. And Cody Jinks is always on the road all over the country. So it just works out easier. I can write they can send me something, and I can have my lunch break at work, sit down and write along to it, That way I like it because you don't have to wait. Like, if you have an idea, you're like, hey, check this out. And then you don't have to write it down and go, I got to remember that I want to eventually try to write that song with Courtney the next time we're together in 2022 or something.
Right. You just text it to her and throw the ball in her court.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Say, check this out. Do something with this. And it's not always immediate, but at least it's on their radar and something that they can eventually try to work with.
Right. So, what are you working on right now? Like, I see your album that you released a few years ago is the one that, like, I see it pushed quite a few times on Twitter.
Yeah, that's just, that's the most recent thing I have out. was really hoping to go in the studio this year, but I've definitely got the songs. But with all this that's going on, it's really been a damper on my budget.
Right.
You know, I missed all my March shows, and it looks like I'm going to probably end up missing my April shows too. Um, so I don't know. I've got the songs. I've got Courtney's going to produce my next record. I know that.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, all the details are in place. It's just the time and the money. So we'll see. Hard to record a album when you can't leave the house.
True.
You know.
True.
So
Very true.
so hopefully something. If it doesn't end up happening late this year, then hopefully next year. Continue with my 5 or 6 year plan on releasing albums.
What are some of the biggest hurdles that you run into in career wise, your music career wise?
Well, I think for me, I mean, it's some of it's hurdles that I've put in place. You know, outside of just trying to catch a foothold, but I don't like being apart from my family. Most of my shows are usually Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then a little longer in the summer when we're out of school. But I don't like being apart from my kids and my wife that much. So that limits the range of exposure I can get, because I got to stay within a couple days of the house. Also, I have a band that I play with sometimes, but I prefer acoustic shows, and it's just by nature it's harder to do. A lot of the bigger venues, they want bands, so
Right.
and
That's
once again, that's something else I've put in place myself. So I could do band shows, and I have a band, but it's just I did solo for so long that it's just I have more fun doing solo, and I don't have to worry about paying the guys and making sure, because when I have the band together and they're actually with me, then I'm stressed about making sure they make money and keeping food on their tables. Well, this way I only have to worry about my table.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do
And
what?
then you get to, I said that makes sense, and then you get to also do what you prefer doing too.
Yeah,
You know.
and the bands that I've had, they've been really good about, it wasn't a project that we started together. It was them kind of coming on with me. So I have ideas for projects that I'd like to start with a band to where everybody kind of works. And not that I would say, no, you can't do that. Just that they kind of knew which direction I wanted to go and played towards that. I don't know. Just that's a big part of it. And then wanting to stay home. Not
Yeah.
necessarily stay home, but not be gone, more than a few days at a time. And I, also I keep a day job just because I can't, I just can't take that leap. I guess it's too much, too stressful.
No, I get that. I mean, especially in, something like this pops up, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
And it's kind of devastating what it's just done to so many different career paths. But like what it's doing to the music thing is just crazy, so crazy.
Right. Yeah, I talked to Courtney about it a little bit this morning, and I was like, I feel bad even complaining because I'm still getting a paycheck from my school job, and still working, and Chelsea, my wife, she's still getting a paycheck. So, and that's why I haven't done a online show or anything, because I feel bad because like I lost, yeah, and not to say my loss of income from music isn't hurting me because it certainly is, but at least I have something coming in, and I feel like if I'm whatever I do, I'm taking away those dollars from the guys and girls that really need it, like Courtney and Jason, or like other friends of mine that this is their livelihood, 100%.
Right. Yeah. That way the tip jars can be filled right in. Right.
Right. Kind of.
That is something that even though it's coming out of a bad situation, that is something that I am enjoying about this whole quarantine life, is getting to see these shows all the time. You know, I normally am here with my kids all the time, and so I have to miss like a lot of shows because of that. And so this has kind of been a little bit of a game changer for me, because I'm, any night of the week, you kind of have to pick who you want to see because there's so many people playing.
And that's another, like, I think it's good for us musicians that, while I'm not playing the bigger stage that everybody else is playing, I'm still working Friday nights and Saturday nights, and everybody works Friday nights and Saturday nights. So you don't see each other's shows unless you're playing shows together. So, I could pop in and see Courtney and Jason play when normally I wouldn't get to see them because I'd be playing that night or whoever, I don't make it out the shows as much because I'm playing shows. I got to take off work to go see a show,
Right. Yeah. So, who are some bucket list people that you want to write with or work with that you haven't been able to?
Rodney Crowell's pretty high up on that list, Bruce Robinson, and they're like my top two probably. But I just like writing. I don't care anybody. But those are my two. Like, man, I'd love to get in a room with them and write. Slade Leaves and Slade and I have we've talked about it. We just hadn't. But thanks to social media, and I've gone in the early 2000s. I went to so many Slade Leaves shows that he eventually actually knew who I was from just going to shows. So thanks to social media, we've kind of reconnected and talked back and forth a few times about trying to get together and write something. So that, that's pretty high up there too. But like I say, I just like to write. So Lauren McKenna would be pretty great. John Prine, but I don't think he really co-writes very much, but here's hoping he pulls through everything.
No. A little bit of good news today, though, right? They said that he's out of critical care now, so that's good to hear.
There were some scares this morning because some people posted some false information and said that he didn't make it, but luckily that was just misunderstandings. And
it's kind of crazy now. Like, I'm almost scared to get on Twitter because when like when you see the trending and you see anybody's name on it, that you look up to in any way, you immediately are like, oh shit, not this one, but
it's so sad that we lost Joe Diffie.
Yeah.
His song Ships That Don't Come In, that's the first song that I remember being my favorite song. Like I was pretty young at the time and I didn't fully understand the song, of course, but I remember that was like my favorite song when that Ships That Don't Come In came out. So yeah, just a shame that we lost him to this.
He was so good. I caught him about a year ago, and everybody knows that they like Joe Diffie, and you can think of a couple of songs that you're like, this is great, right? But I went to the show and I was like, he has so many, like, I guess in my mind he did not have as many
he was
songs as he did, right? Like when I was at the show, I was like, oh my God, that was him too.
Yeah, he had quite a career in the 90s.
Right.
He was up there, Him and Mark Chestnut are, I think, the two most underrated acts from the 90s.
Yeah.
I think both of them should be mentioned in the same breath as Alan Jackson and Randy Travis and even George Strait.
Absolutely. I got to catch Mark Chestnut at the RCC in Houston.
Oh yeah.
Before like when they had a little, just an outside stage, and it wasn't a very big deal when he was there. So that was pretty cool to see him in such a small setting. But yeah, Joe Diffie, man, he had so many more hits than I had remembered. Like you remembered all the songs from growing up, but you didn't really realize that they all belonged to him.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. You put on his greatest hits, and you got a pretty lengthy album there.
Yeah, exactly. So I know that it's a kind of a different answer for everybody. Have you made it? Like, do you feel like this is where you want to be with music, or like, do you have this different idea in your head of, once I get to this place, then I've made it?
That's kind of I mean, no, I haven't made it. I haven't made it to where I'm content with where my career is. For me, that would be a little bit more financial stability, and playing better rooms.
Yeah.
I play, or at least I'll put it this way: I would like to get to where I get to play shows I want to play and not play shows I don't want to play.
Okay.
I play a lot of shows that, I mean, I love playing, but it's just not it does more harm for me than good, emotionally speaking. It doesn't fill my bucket. And I would like to be able to not have to play those shows from a financial standpoint. So that's, I don't need to be headlining any big festivals or anything like that. I would just like to make it to where a little more financially stable, and for me, that's more from the songwriting aspect than it is the performing aspect. Like, that's where I want to make it, is the songwriting aspect. I want to. I mean, that's what I want to do. I want other people to sing the songs I write.
Right.
So
that keeps you at home more too.
Say it again.
That keeps you at home more too.
Exactly. Yeah. Well. Yeah. That way I don't have to, and that way I get to pick the shows that I play a little more.
Yeah.
I just have to go to the mailbox a few times a year.
Right.
And it's actually direct deposit now. I don't have to go to the mailbox.
Nice.
Yeah. But that's,
Nice.
That's a different ballgame than it was 20 years ago, where, with that, After the Fire, that Cody Jinks recorded and made the title track of his album. Well, that was the #1 country album of the year. In the country for a week. And it stayed on the charts for a while, for country albums. And that just, 20 years ago, that would have been a lot bigger deal than it is now, unfortunately, just because of streams.
Right.
It's just a whole different ball game. So
that still has to feel pretty good though, like to have your name on out on tour, like,
oh yeah,
without you having to be out on tour.
Absolutely. Yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
It's really cool that, the song that we wrote together, that I started and we wrote together, it's on shirts and cups and koozies, and people all over and I'm on the Cody Jinks fan page, and a lot of times there'll be conversations about what's your favorite song, and a lot of times people say After the Fire, and that's really cool. That's special for me, just because
Right.
not many people are saying about my own song, so it's nice to hear about a song I wrote that somebody else did.
Yeah, I think, and that's just an exposure thing though.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, like, you have this whole kind of like pod of people that are like me that will just follow all the singer-songwriters, and and we're familiar with everybody's music, big or not,
Right.
But then you have like everybody else, and they're only going to follow what's quote unquote mainstream.
Right.
So
even within the non-mainstream genre,
Right. Right.
You know, it's not supposed to be mainstream, but there still is a mainstream within the non-mainstream field.
Right. Right.
Just a smaller
I mean,
stream.
it sounds silly, but it's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be pretty badass to see all these people raving about something that you did.
Yeah, it's really special. And you know, that happens with Courtney's songs that she and I have written together, and with Barabbas that Jason and Adam Hood and Josh Grider and I wrote together. You know, that's a lot of people really like that song and identify with that song. So it's pretty special.
Yeah, pretty cool. So, who would you challenge to get in this tub next?
Well, you already did Courtney, so
Yeah. Well, okay. So, but wait, I need you to challenge her again because she had one of the funniest videos, and
sounds about right.
And it was broken. I couldn't do anything with it.
Oh.
Yeah. So like it's gone.
She is challenged then, and then you know Gabe Wooten.
Yep.
Gabe Wooten. I challenge Gabe Wooten.
Okay.
He's gonna give me an earful for challenging him, but I'm gonna challenge him.
Yeah. All right. That'll be fun.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's an incredible singer-songwriter. And because he doesn't have anything really recorded, a lot of people don't know that, but he recorded an album. I was there for it. He recorded an album back in December. Me and Jacob Furr went down. That's another person you have to get. But me and Jacob Furr went down to Galveston just on a whim and got to see Gabe record his album. And I hope it works out because I think people are really going to be blown away by it.
Yeah. Do you have any idea when that's coming out? Or
I
probably every year now, huh?
Well, yeah, but I think there were some technical difficulties, so I think they're trying to hammer those out and salvage as much as they could. I think it's going to work out. I think it's just a time-consuming process.
Right.
But get him in a bathtub, see what he says.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean that's about all I had for you. Unless you have anything else that you want to tell us about, or
I got nothing to plug. Just stay home and wash your hands, folks.
Yes, please. All right. Well, thank you very much for doing this. I know it's a very weird request,
That's all right.
but I feel like it'll bring some laughs to some people.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. This is how I used to take a bath anyway. So.
Oh yeah, with the hat and the shirt and the whole thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. You have a good evening.
Yes, sir.
All right. Bye.
If I can get out of here.
I'm going to move the phone first, otherwise it'll go in the water.